my screen showing properly on everybody's kind of screen? Okay. So I'll just start then. So basically today's seminar is about introduction of a new product. It's called CV8. CV stands for cell vitality. And we believe it's a revolutionary kind of product. And as you can see on the screen, it's presented by an institute called CVMGR, which is the abbreviation of the Cell Vitality and the Molecular Genetics Research Institute. This institute is formed together with many kind of partners. And I would like to start with the introduction of this institute first. So first of all, that you can see, I believe that many people also have seen this during your trip in Korea and also in China, in Shenzhen. So basically, this is a joint effort of a China Academy of Science, Ventros, and also Plant Intelligence, and also Sydney University. And CVMGR is have a mission to form an alliance linking the world-class technologies and also experts and institutions to develop the really good products and can contribute to the enhancement of life. And we also have a really clear and precise target, and also the vision is that we're going to develop 8 unique world-class life and health enhancement products and in the next 5 years, and then benefit more than 20 million beneficiaries in more than 10 countries. So basically, the first 2 parts is our responsibility, and we believe we can deliver this without any problem. And about the 10 countries and 20 million beneficiaries, actually, we do need the efforts and results from the family people of the Ventros, of the great Ventros. Okay, so I don't know whether everybody is very familiar with these institutes. Please allow me to introduce the key researchers or key kind of person on board to develop all these products together. So first, sorry, does it work like this? Okay. So first is the Professor Jesse Jin, who is a professor at the Chinese Academy of Science, which is the highest authority of academic research in China. And he actually got a PhD from the University of Otago, New Zealand. And he is the director of the Research Institute of Artificial Intelligence, Beijing Senior Expert Technology Center of Chinese Academy of Science. And as you can see, sorry, the other AI actually was activated in my office. Yeah. Actually, Professor Jin also received this kind of awards in a certain event that actually the CVMGR got another one, which I will show everybody later. And then there's also Professor Yu Bing, and Professor Yu Bing is a principal scientist in medical genomics, and he is now working at the molecular lab in the University of Sydney. And he's developing clinical applications of massively parallel sequencing technology and also many other technology related to the cell vitality and also molecular kind of genetics. And then also us, that our full name is Plant Intelligence, Plant Stem Cell Institute. And our head of institute and chief scientists are Korean, Dr. Lian Ging and Mr. Yang Wu Jin. And also, we are a network of academic kind of scientists. As you can see, that one of our deputy head of institute is Professor Gary Loke, who is the top expert in genomics, and he's a professor in University of Edinburgh, where the first clone ship Dolly was produced there. And then Professor Chen Naihong, actually, he's the top expert in pharmacology in China. And also, he's the top professor in the Institute of Materia Medica, Chinese Academy of Medical Sciences. And also, our chief advisor is Professor Tommy Chen. Tommy Chen actually is the professor in the Yale University, and also he's the founder and also chairman of consortium for the globalization of Chinese medicine as well. So basically, as you can see, the whole CVMGR is formed with top-tier scientists across the globe, including China, Australia, Korea, and also United States, and also the UK. And it's also great to share with everybody is that the CVMGR actually is also appointed as the director member of the 3 medical health protection sub-branch of the Chinese Health Information and Biodata Association. And actually, I think the picture is pretty small. I don't know whether you can recognize or not. There's a small circle in the picture shown on the right, which is our dear John. Yeah. And also you can see the John is holding a certificate together in that event as well. So basically, here is a brief introduction about the CVMGR itself. So we are a group of top scientists working together closely, but also worldwide. We are putting our efforts together on different kind of aspects to form into a good product. And today, actually, I would like to introduce this CV8. And this is the whole storyline. So start from the mission. Next type out introduction about technology. The technology will be mainly about the plant stem cell technology. I believe that everybody, most of the people are not that familiar with. And then we'll come up with the ingredient, the core ingredient that we developed through this core technology, and then into the formula, and then efficacy. And that'll be the whole kind of workflow for today. Hopefully this is okay for everybody. And then actually we already introduced the mission, and then based on this mission, that's how we come together on this platform. And then next part is our technology introduction. So basically, plant intelligence, we are the first and only team who successfully isolated and cultured the genuine plant stem cell in the world. And on the left, you can see is a Nature Biotechnology cover. And we published our core paper as the cover thesis on Nature Biotechnology, which is the highest ranked academic journal in the world in the biotechnology field. You can see the natural products from cultured meristematic cells. That's our paper. And the CMC, which is the abbreviation of the cambial meristematic cells, actually is the academic name of the plant stem cell. So this cambial meristematic cells, it's a region of any plant. So when you cut the plant, especially a tree, you will see the aging ring, right? And actually that's the proof that how this thin layer of cambial meristem gradually form up the whole tree. Yeah, so every year there's one ring, yeah. And this is the youngest cell in the plant and also the oldest cell in the plant. And this cell has a name called Immortal Cells, which means that as long as the condition allows, so there's a food, the temperature is okay, and then they can live forever. The proof is that you can see, as a human being, when I grow, maybe I grow my height, keep growing, maybe till I was 20, and that stopped. No more growth. But any tree, even they are 500 years old or 700 years old, every year they keep growing. That's because all the trees, they have this plant stem cell. It's called immortal cell, and they can continually to duplicate themselves. Yeah. And another one is that these cells can tolerate really great stress from the environment. And also, as everybody knows, that plants is very different from the animal, because when the environment, there's some risks, then the animals can run away. But the plants, because their roots are in the ground, they can never run. So their kind of strategy to survive is not running away, but to tolerate and adjust, get themselves adjusted to the environment. By doing that, they will generate lots of useful compounds, and which is effective active ingredients from the plants, which is good for our human and also many animals. And most of them are actually generated from this from this plant stem cell, from the very as origin. I believe many people in Malaysia already heard about the term of plant stem cell, especially about apple stem cell or rose stem cell. They claim themselves from Switzerland or whatever, but actually those so-called stem cells are actually pseudo or fake stem cells. They are never stem cells. Their official name is called wound healing tissue or dedifferentiated cells. So the cosmetic industry needs some gimmick, needs some story. So in the year of 2007 or 2008, a Swiss company called Mibel, actually they took some callus or wound healing tissue from apple tree in Switzerland and told a story to the whole world saying that they isolated stem cell from the really rare apple tree in the Alps or something like that. But actually that technology is a very conventional technology. Everybody can do that. And also those cells are not stem cells at all. If it happened to be besides you, there's some kind of apple stem cell based mask pack or whatever in cosmetics, you can read into the ingredient list. It will say clearly it's callus, C-A-L-L-U-S, which is the wound healing tissue. And here are the difference. What's the difference is that first, the real plant stem cell are innately undifferentiated. What it means is that it's at its original status, 100%. But what's callus? Callus is called wound healing tissue. So basically, if you give a wound to the leaf or to the kind of tree or to the stem, then the wound want to heal itself. And then those already differentiated cells, like the leaf cell or those things, they will have a de-differentiation process, and then they will form a tissue called wound healing tissue. So you can see the bottom row of the DDC, de-differentiated cells. These cells are we call heterogeneous. They are from different origins, and they are the cells that they kind of came back from the differentiated cells. It's not innately undifferentiated anymore. What's the difference is that if you culture these cells for a long time, for example, the above row actually is the genuine plant stem cell. These pictures are published in our paper. During that time, it's been 22 months. But actually, till now, almost more than 100 months already passed. All these cells are still the same because they are genuine plant stem cells, which is really kind of easy to understand because you can see trees 2,000 years old, their stem cells are the same as 2,000 years ago. And then you see the bottom row or bottom line, those are callus. Actually, after 2 or 3 months, they will die because their mission is just to heal the wound. After they finish the mission, they will just go back to their original status or whatever. So that's the biggest difference, is that originally undifferentiated genuine stem cells, they can always keep the same form for thousands of years, tens of thousands of years. But callus, they can only hold up their form for weeks. What's so different? So the difference is that callus is no more than a gimmick. They cannot massively produce the useful compounds that people need. But our CMC can. Why? Because there's many differences, because I don't want to turn into today's session into an academic session. So I'll just explain in a kind of easier way for people to understand. On the left, you see some red color dyed, some bubble, right? So in the normal cell, like DDC or any other plant cells, there's one big vacuole. And if you dye that, you can see that, okay, a really big vacuole. But only in CMC, only in this plant stem cell, there are tens, maybe hundreds of the small vacuoles. So when you try to culture means not the noun culture, it means it's a verb. It means that you put a cell or kind of bacteria at certain places and then to grow them. That's called culture. So when you culture these different kind of cells, the bottom cell actually, if you culture them in a kind of large scale, then they cannot survive the stir. So in the academic word, it's called that they cannot survive the sheer stress, so they will die. So for the DDC, scientists already been working on this cell for more than almost 100 years or even more than 100 years. But the problem is that they can grow to maybe 5 liter or 10 liter, 20 liter, 30 liter, that's it. It's really, really difficult for them to grow in tons because the bigger scale, when you stir them, yeah, the cells will just break and they die because of this big vacuole. But as you can see at the top, our cells, they have small vacuoles. It's just like the kind of airbags in your truck, in your car. So basically, when we stir them, even when we kind of culture the cells, they can still survive that severe shear stress. So that's why we can massively produce these cells in tons, 20 tons, 30 tons, 200 tons, etc. And also another one is that for cells to culture and also for cells to produce useful ingredients, they need energy. And the cell's energy comes from starch. You can see in the CMC, the real stem cell, there are so many starch. So basically you can consider these cells have enough source of the energy. They have preserved lots of the gasoline in their tanks. But for DDC, it's almost empty. Yeah, so they don't have enough energy for duplication and also for useful ingredient production. And then also, other than the thing, I don't know whether it's a video or not. Okay, it's a video, great. So another one is the mitochondria. It's kind of the engine of the cells. Okay, sorry. I think some technical difficulties. It's a video, but I don't think can play properly. So next time maybe I'll show everybody. Basically on the left, you can see many black dots. It's called mitochondria. It's kind of an engine of a cell. It's transformed the energy from the gasoline into the form of movement. So also the mitochondria transform the starch into a form of called ATP, which is considered as electricity in the cells. So you can see that in the CMC, their mitochondrial counts is kind of several hundred folds of the DDC, which enables this genuine plant stem cells can generate lots of kind of energies, hundreds of even thousand folds of energy for the cell to duplicate itself or to produce useful ingredients. And another one, you can see that plant stem cell is the source of all plant cells. Since it's a source, by logic, it's one form, right? It's difficult to imagine that the source has many forms. So our cell is one form. So we call the homogeneous cell line. But the DDC, which we call the callus or wound healing tissue, actually they are generated from maybe 20 kinds or 30 kinds of different cells. So they're heterogeneous cell lines. So when you culture them, there's a severe aggregation. So what this means? Aggregation means that there are some cells in the middle cannot breathe. Because they cannot breathe, they will die. So you see that cluster of cells is formed with maybe 50,000 cells. And then the cells in the middle cannot breathe and they will die really soon. But you see the top, it's kind of 3 or 5 kind of cells come together at maximum. So they can breathe really freely. So they can keep growing without any limitation. That's also one of the structural difference of the real and fake plant stem cell. And also, I believe if you have seen this kind of experiment by yourself, or maybe on the Discovery channel, you'll notice that the antioxidation efficacy or capacity of the real stem cell is about 30 to 50 times stronger than DDC. So basically, the bubbles means that the antioxidation efficacy is much stronger. And then as a result, is that the real generous plant stem cell can produce lots more secondary metabolites, or we call useful ingredients, than the CMC. So these are the very difference. And what I'm trying to say is that all those so-called stem cells, like apple stem cell, rose stem cell, whatever stem cells on the market, those are not genuine plant stem cells because they are wound healing tissues. They are heterogeneous cell lines, and they are no more than just concept. Because first, it's not stem cell. Second, they cannot produce lots of useful ingredients. And also their kind of biosynthesis, all those things are really, really slow. And also they cannot achieve the standardization production, all those things. So although those CMC, not CMC, those DDC, it's already been on the market or on the research level for almost 1 century, there are very, very few successful cases for the mass production. Cosmetic doesn't count, it's just they're using this concept only. So our breakthrough is to isolate the innately undifferentiated stem cells from the plants, and it's homogeneous, and it can keep growing, so we can achieve mass production and also standardized useful ingredient production. So this is our patented technology. So we isolate the stem cell from any type of plant, from a plant stem cell and bank, and then this is how we do it. So first stage, one cell become 2, and then 2 become 4, 4 become 8, 8 become 16. Everybody can imagine this, right? Our technology, this thing can keep growing. So basically, if you have 10 gram, after 5 days you have 20, then 40, 80, and then you have 10 kilo. After 5 days, you have 20 kilo, 40 kilo, 80 kilo. Our cells can keep growing, but the DDC, the conventional cell tissue culture, maybe they can grow to maybe 1 kilo, that's it. And it takes forever for them to grow to 2 kilo. But for us, even if you have 10 tons, then after 5 days, you have 20 tons, 40 tons, 160 tons, etc. So that's the first stage called scale up. You can consider that first stage is that each cell is a small micro 3D printer. And the first stage, these 3D printers are printing themselves. So 1 become 2, 2 become 4, like this. And at the end of first stage, we have trillions of exactly same cell, which means that we have trillions of exact same 3D printers. And then second stage, we call the production stage. So basically, these kind of trillions of exact same 3D printers are printing the exact same ingredients or clusters of ingredients as we want. And some ingredients in the wild, it's really rare because maybe in the last decade or maybe in the last 1 century, there are only a few hours that the environment is harsh enough so that the plant have to generate something to protect themselves. Maybe 5 hours per decade. So even after 5 decades, they're actually working just 20 or 30 hours to produce that certain ingredient. But here, because we only have the cell, and we have trillions of the same cells, so we culture them in the lab or in our factory, controlled factory. So 1 week is 168 hours. 3 weeks is about 500 hours. And all these 500 hours, we are programming. You can consider we are programming these cells to massively produce the ingredient we want at their most efficient kind of speed. So 5 hours per decade and 500 hours per month, you see the difference, right? So in each tank of this, we can manufacture, for example, wild ginseng. 1 tank of this, we can produce 75,000 of roots of wild ginseng worth of ginsengicides per month, which equals maybe 2 billion something US dollar worth of wild ginseng. And that's how we produce these rare ginsengicides. And at the beginning, Andrew mentioned about that ginseng is good, but too expensive and too rare for people to purchase and consume. Based on this technology, we can do that right now. And then because these rare ginsengicides are already proven to have many good efficacies, such anti-cancer, immune enhancement, etc., etc. But so far, just because nobody can mass produce them, there's no products on the market at all. Even the richest and the people with highest power, they cannot consume that every day. They can only maybe have 1 or 2 per year if they're lucky. But now with this technology, everybody can experience this legendary plant because its efficacy is really legendary because it's so great. I'll show that later. So basically, plant intelligence, we developed many platforms. The conservation platform is to build up the plant stem cell and bank to preserve really rare and useful plants. Mainly, we are working together with governments. For example, for Malaysia, there's a really famous plant called Tongka Ali. And we are already working together with the royal families of the Malaysia, and we already successfully isolate the stem cell of the Tongka Ali. And then we also are doing the discovery platform. It's together, we're working with universities across the globe to do many researches. Like I mentioned, the University of Edinburgh and the University of Sydney, something like that. And then with industries like Johnson & Johnson and also many big pharma and also nutrition companies, we are developing kind of massive kind of production of the customized ingredient for them. For example, we are already the global strategic partner of the Johnson & Johnson. If everybody can visit their innovation center, there are only 4 innovation centers of Johnson & Johnson globally, and we are among their about 30 global strategic alliance, and we are on their top row in the middle. And then there's a deployment platform, and we're working together with brand and channel to make sure that everybody can easily access to the ingredients and the products developed with our technology in their daily life. Yeah, so basically this is what I explained just right now, that the conservation platform is for government and also charity foundations to work for the human being to preserve rare plants. And the discovery platform is working together with the universities and institutes to do many different research projects. And this is kind of enhancement and deployment platform. Basically, we massive produce ingredients and put them into different type of products, including the nutrition and also cosmetics. And with our technology, this is our kind of advantage. We can save the endangered plants, and also we can produce high and stable yield of the rare ginsenosides and also other type of we call the botanical ingredients. And also, I think everybody can think about this. From the beginning to the end, there's no pesticides, there's no heavy metal. Each batch is very consistent and standardized. So this is a brand new way of how people can utilize the nature. And we are the only owner of all patents globally for the inactivated and differentiated plant stem cells, and including US, including China, Europe, Japan, Russia, Singapore, etc., etc. Yeah. And then right now we already built up a first generation of the plant stem cell line bank, including the yew tree, wild ginseng, ginkgo, tomato, tea, tonka ali, and also we are developing more cell lines right now. And then with that, we keep grow them and in large scale. At the beginning, petri dish and 3-liter bioreactor. This level everybody can do, but now we're also doing 250-liter bioreactor, thousands of them. And then 3-ton bioreactor, and then 15-ton, 40-ton, 50-ton. That's what we're doing right now. And by mass producing these ingredients with the plant stem cell technology, we can put them in the food, nutrition, cosmetics, drugs, etc. for commercialization. So basically, this technology can help the biodiversity. And actually, I don't know whether people are aware of this. There's a big COP15 kind of event happening in China, Kunming. Originally, actually, this October, but postponed to next the Q1 of 2021 because of the coronavirus issue. So we are invited by that big event as a key solution to the new generation of protection of biodiversity by UN. Yeah. And also, we can provide a really great tool for research. We can accelerate many researches. For example, maybe some research without our technology takes about 3 years. But with our technology, we can do that in 2 months. For some trees, they can grow in 2 decades, but we can culture the cells maybe in 2 weeks. So that's the difference we can produce. And also, we can mass produce them. So for the business, pharmaceutical, nutrition, cosmetics, all these industries, they desperately need the standardized and also mass produced natural ingredients. But not all natural ingredients can hit those requirements. But with our technology, we can meet all requirements of that. And also on top of that, the safety and all other issues is also incomparable. Yeah. So that's our technology. And then based on this technology, then people say, oh, what this technology can do? Basically, we can amplify whatever is rare and expensive. So in this case, we amplified a legendary plant called ginseng, or wild ginseng. So wild ginseng, and here's some story, excuse me. So this is Qin Shi Huang. It's the first emperor of China. Everybody wants to live really long, right? And even in people in the USA, they're actually using the blood plasma from teenage people to keep their life. And also use this kind of, people can read as well. I just, I don't want to say, but okay, bird poop. Even put these things on your face to keep young. But actually, wild ginseng is the best choice based on 5,000 years of usage. And for example, in China, that everybody wants to be the emperor, but actually, emperor is kind of their average length of life is about 34 years, something like that. But the Qianlong is the longest lived emperor in China, who lived 89 years. Actually, he has a habit to have almost daily consumption of wild ginseng. And same thing also happened in the Korea Peninsula. The King Yongzhou, the longest living king of the Joseon dynasty, also is taking lots of wild ginseng. In a year when he was 72, he's taking 10 kilo of ginseng, wild ginseng, which is 100% of the production in the Korean Peninsula that year. However, wild ginseng is too rare to be available by everyone, because even nowadays that there are so many ginseng products on the market, those are all cultivated ginseng. But every year, only less than 6 kilo of wild ginseng are found in China, and just less and less. So our technology is a game changer, and we can change this from 1 to infinity. Actually, we just got a 150-year wild ginseng through an auction. We paid almost $50,000 for that. Without our technology, that one root ginseng consumed by people, done. And then it's gone from the world. Without technology, that ginseng still there. And everybody, nowadays, that tens of thousands of people are consuming this every month because of our CMC technology, from 1 to infinity. As I mentioned, that this kind of bioreactor can produce rare ginsenocytes equal to 75,000 roots of 100 years of wild ginseng. One root, if you calculate as $30,000, you will have number, it's more than 100 million $, right? That's for one bioreactor to make every month. And we have hundreds of these kind of bioreactors right now to supply to everybody. So basically, wild ginseng CMC can help people have younger looks, healthy body, and also high performance. I believe everybody now get the story and idea is that our technology is the amplifier of the rare natural plant ingredients. So the best ingredient for anti-aging, for youth, is the wild ginseng. And then we applied this technology to wild ginseng, and then we have lots of standardized, highly safe, and also really strong, really effective wild ginseng ingredient. And then based on these ingredients, together with Sydney University and also Chinese Academy of Science, we developed a specific formula for ventros, which is the CV8. So here is the CV8. Not only we have the wild ginseng, which is the king of the herbs, but also we have the sea buckthorn. It also have a nickname of king of the desert. And then we also added, sorry, it's not sea buckthorn on the right, it's called aronia. It's a kind of typo, it's aronia. Aronia is called king of the berries. And then we also have the king of the fruits. So basically, based on all these ingredients, of course, the key ingredient is the wild ginseng and the sea buckthorn. And then we develop a formula. And on top of the formulation, we also applied some cutting-edge technology to enhance the absorption rate. So it's a special delivery system. So maybe you can find some other products on the markets that are also developed with the plant intelligence technology as well. But basically, they are just using the ingredient developed with our technology, but the formulation, all those things are actually not developed or made by us. It's made by our clients themselves. So here for the CV8 is different because CV8 is not developed by Ventros itself. CV8 is developed by the CVMGR, which is a platform and a combination alliance of many top-tier scientific institutes globally, Sydney University, Plant Intelligence, China Academy of Science. And then we also apply this a special delivery system. The absorption rate is almost double, twice, of the conventional kind of ingredient or formulation that even without ingredient, because they don't have this delivery system. So this is the advantage of CV8. So when you see at this, look at all these plants, you will have an idea that all these plants are really, really great at anti-oxidation, right? And also anti-oxidation means anti-aging, exactly. And also it can increase the cell vitality at the genetic and also cellular level. Now, this is what this thing can do. So no one can stop a ticking clock, but the great ones always find a way to slow it down. Federer, even today, even now, of course, maybe not because of the COVID-19 situation, but even this year, he's playing, right? LeBron James, he's almost 30, he's 35 years old already, but he runs on the field like he's in his early 20s. Yeah, and also Stuckey. Also, this lady who competed in many times in Olympic gymnastics, 7 times, okay? And all these people actually is having 4 or 5 hours every day on the field to have their training. How about you? Can you afford or do you want to have this kind of training to maintain your health and keep you young? Some people may say yes, but no for me. I cannot. Yeah, I prefer to sleep on the bed, not to have my training on the court. Yeah, to be honest with you. Yeah. And also I want to travel around the world, and I don't want to travel around the hospitals after my retirement. And then we can provide this kind of solution by providing the youth to you. And this youth is the basic desire of human beings, right? So here is the core definition of aging. So in our kind of cells, there's chromosome, chromosome, yeah. And then at the tip of chromosome, there's called telomere. And after every generation of cell division, this telomere will become shorter. And that's cell aging. For plant stem cell, by the way, when they have cell duplication, their telomere becomes shorter and then will resume to the original length. That's why they call immortal cell. That's only happen in plant stem cell, never in animal cells, never in other plant cells. Here you can see that the formulation of CV8 can help you to maintain the length of telomere, which means that there's no time passing for you if your telomere is not shortening. So that's what we are doing right now. We can provide to you. And also, even ginsenosides will inhibit the shortening of telomere induced by aging stress. All these are kind of proven by the science. And also increase the expression of this kind of certain gene or production of certain enzyme to help you to maintain youth and stop aging. So I hope this one works. This is a video actually showing how active these kind of telomere, not telomere, the mitochondria is working, but sorry, technical issue is that the video is not playing properly. Yeah, so they are like the kind of engine is actively moving. Yeah. So that's the formula. And now I would like to come up to the efficacy. So ginseng actually is proven to have these efficacies: anti-fatigue, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, erectile dysfunction, ED, yeah, metabolic disease, depression, HIV/AIDS, gastric, cancer, antioxidation, insomnia, obesity, all these things. And here, these are for the ginseng. And because there are so many good things about ginseng, people know about this, but the only reason why people cannot use that is because nobody can achieve the mass production of the certain type of rare ginsenocytes. But we did, right? So after we did, we also used our key ingredient to do many clinical study. And here, there you go. This is done by us. Actually appointed by, you can see, it's from the Zhengzhou University. It's by third party, but they are using our ingredient, the ingredient that you are intaking right now. So basically, our thing can help the bone marrow cell to proliferate. Bone marrow cell is also called the blood stem cell. So all those key ingredients in your blood actually is produced by this bone marrow cell, and we can proliferate these cells. And this thing can help your immune system a lot. And also, the NK cell is called natural killer cell. It's one of the most important kind of factor why normal people don't get cancer, even they have more than 2,000 cancer cells generated every day in their body. Because the NK cell is working properly, their immune system will kill those cells. And then you can see our thing can increase the activity of the NK cell. And also we can proliferate the lymph node cell. During this time, when people may say, COVID-19 is so serious, but you know, some people, their kind of syndrome is really weak. And some people with weaker immune system, their syndrome will be really, really kind of severe. And the lymph node cell actually can do this. You say, I got the cold, but okay, just pass by after 2 days because I have really strong immune system, and lymph node cell play a really huge part in that. And then our ingredients can help the lymph node cell to proliferate. And also has some liver protection and other many things. And for these things, maybe later I'll just transfer to another slide to show you some really real cases based on our ingredient, on those blood circulation. It's even better than aspirin or ginkgo extract. Okay, here anti-cancer, liver protection, and the blood circulation, anti-AIDS. All these things, we're also developing many pharmaceutical projects with this ingredient as well. Yeah, so later, now I'm going to show everybody some cases. Just FYI, these cases are not based on CV8. I believe with CV8, you have many, many more, even better cases. But these cases are based on our kind of other products developed with our technology, but already more than good enough. So I will have a really quick kind of brief to show everybody. You can expect similar or even better kind of case after intake of CV8. Of course, the dosage may vary. Yeah. For example, anti-cancer. So this person only take our cells. So it's stomach cancer, it's gone. The cancer is gone. Early stomach cancer. Lymphatic cancer. You can see it's almost all over his body. And then later it's gone. I don't want to make this thing as an anti-cancer drug because it's not registered yet, but actually efficacy is there. Just FYI, there are so many cases like this. Lung cancer, rectal cancer, lung cancer again, lung cancer, rectal cancer, uterine cancer, breast cancer, stomach cancer. Okay, leukemia, you can say intake. That arrow date is the day they started intaking. And then you can see all those white blood cells is increasing. And also PLT is also increasing. And liver protection, AST, before almost 600. After 50, 40, it's not happening to one person, it's happening to hundreds, thousands of people. And then hepatitis B carrier even become non-carrier. Many, many cases. hepatitis C as well, hepatitis B, fatigue improved a lot, body condition improved a lot, hepatitis B. You can see carrier become a non-carrier. Carrier become non-carrier. There are so many cases. I just want to have a really brief kind of introduction about this. Okay, so many hepatitis B patients. By the way, this is not based on CV8, okay, just FYI. It's based on former generation of the product or ingredients. Improvement of blood circulation, you can consider, okay? Diabetes. By the way, my father also had diabetes, but for almost 2 decades, but there's no other syndrome at all. So that's good, yeah. So diabetes, that high blood pressure will come down, and also, or for those insulin kind of injection, the daily dosage can come down. For example, my father used to take about 21, 24 units per day, and now he's taking about 10 per day only. Anti-inflammation. AR, this is really, how to say that, really painful disease. Yeah, and we have many good cases. Also, this is blood circulation. You can see, especially good for blood circulation because when cell vitality is there. Yeah. High blood pressure, nervous system disease like Alzheimer. Before intake, his speech was inarticulate and could not walk well. After intake, his pronunciation became clear and could walk well. He could exercise alone too. After operation, due to cerebral infarction, he had no strength and blood circulation was not smooth. However, now it's okay. Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease, so the shaking hands stopped or become much better. Immune enhancement, smoke cancer, hepatitis B, stomach cancer, liver, germ cell tumor, leukemia, anti-AIDS. These cases are the cases happening in Kenya and also Ghana in Africa. So basically what it means is that you can see the HIV virus load is coming down, almost less than 1%, become less than 1% every month. So after 3 months, everybody actually cannot detect the HIV in their body. And also CD4 is a really important immune cell, and their count come back to normal. These are just some first-hand informations. So I just would like to share with everybody to give you some kind of idea about efficacy that we're using and in the CV8. Okay, so that's efficacy part. Now I believe everybody want to have this product, and I also want, it's my honor to update everybody about the current status. So the product is not only after research, but also it's being produced. The first batch is out already, and here is the product, and here's the box. And it's already been packaged and already on the way to Malaysia, on the way to everybody's hand right now, by air and also by ocean. So this picture is just taken several days ago, and you can see the CV8 is there. Okay, so to sum up, that we are a institute, it's a alliance of China Academy of Science and the Sydney University, and also Plant Intelligence all together, and also, of course, Ventros, focusing on the cell vitality and the molecular genetics. And we are going to provide or develop 8 unique products to enhance the quality of life in next 5 years. And then through Ventros to supply to more than 10 countries, to more than 20 million beneficiaries. That's what we're trying to do. And everything starts from this mission. Because of this mission, we developed this technology. And with this technology, together with wild ginseng, we developed great wild ginseng originated ingredients, and also, of course, Seabuckthorn and other ingredients as well. We come up with the formula, and this formula will have great efficacy. Because even only the ingredient itself already shown great efficacy, and we enhance that a lot. Not only the formula, but also the absorption rate, delivery system. So, and also it's not only for the patients, but also really great for the everybody, normal people, of course, as well, on daily life, to boost up your immune system, to make you feel kind of more vitalized again. So the efficacies will be there, but I believe you will be the person who can tell the difference and share the story after you receive all those products, which is on the way to Malaysia right now. And hopefully this kind of cell vitality to the infinity, the CV8, will bring the good news to many, many family and people, and change their life, change their health, and change their kind of happiness, because bring them happiness. So ventros, so ventros is the value and the tradition of success. So it's not only success, it's not only about the financial success, but also about your health, about your youth, about everything. And we are really happy and also honored to be able to be part of the supporting system, the CVMGR, for the ventros business. And that'll end up for today's presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Jeffrey Kim. Ladies and gentlemen, in your own